Welcome to Cooper High School for Section 6 Class 3A girls basketball, a semifinal matchup between the number 4 seed, the Orono Spartans, and the number 1 seed, the Cooper Hawks. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Wally Langfellow. And Wally, great timing for Cooper. First year in Class 3A, and they have what I would say is the best team they've ever had in school history. They're set to try and make a run to the state tournament.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a club that's only lost 2 games all season long. They've had a long layoff now. They've had 8 days because they got the first round bye. As a matter of fact, I heard one of the kids talk about the fact we've never had a bye before. So we'll see how they respond to that with this long layoff.
For Orono, it's been an interesting year. State champion last year in Class 3A. This year, 7 wins so far. They feel like they've had a lot of what-ifs, some close games that didn't go their way, but they turned that around against Mound in the quarterfinals and did win a 2-point game. They're coming in here with some confidence, even though they're, on paper at least, the big underdog.
Well, and you just said it. They have some experience. This team, whether the players were on the floor or not, with the exception of Madeline Loader, their number 1 player, they have experience. They know what it takes to get to and win a state championship. So we'll see how that factors in.
Let's talk about key players to look at in today's game. And for Orono, it's a pretty definite one. Madeline Loader, as Wally talked about, averaging about 25 a game. She had a mere 36 of their points in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, well, and the strategy against a player like that is try and contain. You don't want her to go off for 35, 40 points because it comes down to crunch time. You know who's going to get the ball, and she's probably going to score. We'll see how Cooper adjusts to that, whether they try to double team her, whether they try to put some extra people on her.
And Cooper's head coach, Kiara Buford, was quite a college player herself. She played the role of Madeline Loader in practice this week so they could get used to defending. And for Cooper, not a clear cut. They've just got a lot of good players in the lineup. One of those who's been around a long time, senior T.T. Longs.
Yeah, T.T. Longs has been playing Cooper varsity. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is her 5th year of playing Cooper varsity. As you said, they're a very balanced club, so they're not depending on T.T. Longs, but she certainly is a leader. She's going to take the ball to the basket. Hopefully for Cooper, that'll be a big difference maker in today's game.
Orono definitely wanting to maybe slow this one down a little bit, not let Cooper get out and get turnovers and layups. They also need to keep them off the offensive glass. Mimi Wheeler, the freshman, is a great weapon in that regard. Who wins the rebounding battle might play as big a role as anything in today's game.
Well, and that's just about in every basketball game. If you get those second chances on the offensive end, if you can clear the boards, box out, keep people away from the basket on the defensive end, you're going to give yourself a pretty good chance to win a basketball game.
All right, Cooper looking to get to their first ever state tournament in girls basketball. This would be a step on the way. Orono would love nothing more than to come in and play spoiler here today on the road. It's the Hawks and the Spartans coming up next on CCX.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back here to Cooper as the Spartans and the Hawks being introduced to the crowd. And joining us courtside today and talking with the coaches at halftime will be Allie Arlt. Let's go over now to Allie.
Hey, Jay, it's been 8 days since Cooper played their last game, but Coach Buford says they aren't rusty at all. They've been practicing really hard this week. They went to Orono's game on Wednesday, and today they play a zone defense that they've been used to seeing and beating all year long. Coach Buford says they know they have a target on their back as the number 1 seed, but says that their confidence level is at an all-time high right now. Coach Glover Verhagen says not so fast. We have played multiple really good teams this year and been able to keep those games within just a few points. She said the only reason we've been able to do that is because we come in with the mentality that we can beat this team, and make no mistake, they've got that attitude coming into this one today.
Thank you very much, Allie. And obviously some new matchups with this new section for Cooper. That's one thing that for the coaching staff had to be a different thing this year. As you go through the season, you know, you've got to get out and scout some different opponents and things like that because they are brand new to it. And here's a look at how things shaped up as Cooper. Only 7 teams in the section, so as the top seed, they get that bye. Orono beating Mound by a couple of points. The other semifinal should be a good one as well. Benilde against Waconia. So that part of it's brand new. I mean, I think it's a welcome relief for the Hawks to get away from the Hopkins-Wayzata section, but at the same time, they had a lot of new teams that they had to really study up on.
Well, and the other factor you have to think about is the opposition has to worry about Cooper as well. You know, as you mentioned, you know, Cooper has seen the Wayzatas and the Hopkins over the years. Now they're playing teams that they don't ordinarily see in the postseason or in the regular season for that matter. And so now you've got a situation where the other team has to be ready for you and scout you and be used to what you're doing. You know, I'm telling you something, no matter how good or bad a matchup is on paper, you never know, especially when you play multiple times in a given season.
So look at the starters for Coach Lavessa Glover Verhagen's team for the Spartans. Jordan Case played quite a bit last year. Anna Hughes was a starter along with Madeline Loader, and then Natalie Brecken and Ellie Johnson in their starting 5. And for Cooper, they have the Wheeler sisters, Aja and Kiara, also Jada Buford, a sharpshooter, and the coach's younger sister, TT Longs. And Andrea Tribble has really come on as a freshman this year and played a great role for their team and has given them it just seems like everybody that plays for Cooper contributes something, and that's been a big thing for them. As you see, TT Longs, one of the seniors. Cooper's still, you know, still a fairly young group, but they've got some seniors that have been big contributors too. So Wheeler will jump it up here against Natalie Brecken. Hawks control it, and we are underway.
Well, immediately you see Orono is in that zone defense. Looks like a 1-2-2 right now.
Aja Wheeler back across to Tribble. She will drive it left side. Layup wouldn't drop. There's Mimi Wheeler getting the rebound, no good. And then a foul on the Hawks. It's going to be on Longs as Johnson grabbed that rebound. And that's kind of Kiara Wheeler, or Mimi Wheeler's go-to is that offensive glass. She did get one rebound, but unable to put it away. And the Spartans did clear the second board.
Yeah, you saw immediately. She just crashed right to the boards on the shot, missed, and put it up, but couldn't get it to go.
Loader handling it out high here. Aja Wheeler getting the assignment on her to start, and that shot no good. Buford the rebound. They'll push it ahead. Here comes Tribble. Their layup at the bottom of the backboard. And
now this is what Cooper wants to do. They want this fast-paced game, but they don't want to have her dominate the game. Madeline Loader misses that shot, but the Orono Spartans are going to get a rebound and some free throws here.
And Johnson will go to the free throw line after getting the offensive glass, or hitting the offensive glass, and the foul will go against Buford. So both teams on the drive, they're letting them play a little bit. They got a couple misses that were in traffic and a little contact maybe on both ways there, but then the foul on the rebound, and Johnson converts the free throw, and the Spartans take a 1-0 lead. Misses the second, and then Tribble had it briefly but unable to haul it in. Just tried to dribble that live ball instead of scooping it up, and it'll be Orono basketball.
Well, Cooper goes person-to-person defense, and I think you're going to see a lot of that. They'll try and use their quickness to their advantage, push the basketball up the floor when they get a fast break opportunity.
Aja Wheeler, as we said, getting the assignment on Loader to start. Loader will let it rip from deep. No good. Nice offensive rebound, though, but the shot won't drop for Hughes. And then they get it back again. Johnson. So Orono giving Cooper a little taste of their own medicine here with the offensive rebounds. Pass coming right back, spins in and out there on the shot from Hughes, and now Buford will bring it back the other way for Cooper. Aja Wheeler driving, partially blocked, and then out of bounds off of Orono, so Cooper will get it back.
I think they were expecting a foul on that because as she drove to the basket, she clearly was bodied up, no call though. And as you mentioned, Jay, the officials seem to be letting things go here in the early going.
Buford into Tribble, but she stepped on the sideline. The pass was tipped a little bit.
Now those are things that drive a coach crazy. Just a a simple inbound play, and you can't get the ball in without turning it over. And we talked about rebounding being a factor. Turnovers are going to be a huge factor as well.
Buford getting out, defending aggressively here on Johnson. Kick it back out. Loader, a nice move to the baseline. That's more space than she's had, but she missed it. She's been cold to start.
0 for 3 to start.
Jada Buford, shot fake. She'll move in a little closer, and again, seemed to be a fair amount of contact on that drive and shot, but.
Well, and they're not afraid to go to the basket, but I think what you're seeing is you're seeing some early nerves here and maybe some of that rust that we talked about for Cooper. I mean, those shots are not even close. It's like they're tight and they're tense shooting the basketball. They don't seem to be going up with ease.
There's a look at Lavessa. Glover Verhagen took over last year and great timing, stepped in and had a great team and coached him to a state championship. And, you know, she had an interesting perspective. You know, she said, from the outside, people are like, oh my, this was a bad season or whatever. But she said, we had a lot of new players that had to step in, and you know, it isn't automatic that you just reload with a great group every year. That, you know, they had to learn some things, and she feels like they've, you know, down the stretch have played much better basketball than they did earlier in the year, and that's what you're looking for, as it would be it as a teacher or a coach. You know, are you making progress? Are you getting better?
Now they're going to let Madeline Loader brings the basketball up, and watch for some high screens out there to allow her to shoot, because as we saw a little bit earlier, she's not afraid to shoot from just about anywhere.
And Asia Wheeler up with the steal here for the Hawks. Weaves her way through the lane, and the layup bounces around and drops. Cooper has its first bucket.
Now Wheeler again just taking the ball to the basket. Boy, that's what's going to be a difference maker in this game. If she gets hot, look out.
Loader stopping and hitting the three. Coach said she's gotten better at that part of her game. You know, good driver and finisher in the past and facilitator. Nice pass, Longs down low to Buford, no. And it's rebounded now. Ju Gaston is checked in, number 5. She'd been out with a concussion. Here's Kiara Wheeler's turnaround try, won't drop, and Loader will push it back the other way.
Well, I think if you were to ask Coach Wheeler right now, let's see, on the jump ball situation, I believe that's going to go to Orono. But if you were to ask Coach Buford how things are going right now, I think she'd just tell you, hey, we just got to make shots, because I think they're getting quality shots. They're just not going in right now. I mean, the shot by Mimi was, that's exactly where you want the basketball. She just missed it.
So look at Coach Buford, and she knew they were going to have an excellent team this year, and scheduled some tough non-conference games along that line. They won the Metro West Conference again, but that's the bigger goal is to get to that state tournament, and lost by Loader on the dribble. Here comes Gaston. She will look to go all the way, no good, but was fouled, and will head to the free throw line.
Interesting that the foul was called on that one, and that seemed to be more of a touch foul, and some of the more flagrant fouls a little bit earlier not called. So interesting how the officials are officiating this game. Yeah, to me, that's not a foul compared to what we saw earlier.
Julia Knudsen picks up the foul. She just came off the bench for the Spartans. Gaston makes the free throw. Gaston, like Longs, you know, a really long-term contributor to this team and this program as they've gotten better and better over the last few years. It was kind of unfortunate to see them have to play without her down the stretch of the season, but back in there now and as a contributor. Loader dribble, and Gaston picks her pocket. 2-on-1 for the Hawks. Gaston will go all the way, no good. Rebound try is good as Longs puts it back.
Now, again, just going straight to the basket, and you saw that time that they double-teamed Loader. The defender came off of her man and came over and got the steal. I think Loader is just that kind of player. You just have to be aware where she is at all times.
And she's got those bright yellow shoes. It's easier to track her out there from the defender. Loader, that one will count as she made a strong drive to the hoop and finishes. And the foul is going to be on Asia Wheeler, which will be her first. And so we're even at 6.
Well, and as you see the replay, you know, she turned her back, Asia Wheeler did, and that's the last thing you want to do, because that just gave Loader a clear path to the basket.
Loader's free throw is short, tipped around and finally controlled by Arthel Massaquoi, who's in there now for the Hawks. So we stay even up at 6 apiece here in the early going. Section 6 semifinals, Class 3A. Now for fans just joining us, Cooper had been in Class 4A until this year, and now in Class 3A for both boys and girls basketball. Gaston bringing it back out.
Now they've matched up. Orono has switched to a man defense here. No, actually, they kind of disguise it. It's like a matchup zone almost.
Back out. Gaston will shoot the three and hit the three. And I think that's one thing that has helped maybe this Cooper team stand out from some of the past ones, is they also have people who can make threes. Yeah, they drive well, they rebound well, but they also have some shooters.
Well, and if you can make that shot, that's going to open up the penetration and open up the shots going to the basket as well.
Hughes picking up her dribble out high, now goes to Brecken.
Again, Loader one-on-one against Long. That's a difficult play to defend against.
Loader missing the shot, then Long's jabbed it free. Battle for it, and we'll get a held ball.
Well, I can see how Loader scored 36 points in their last game. She's going to shoot it 36 times tonight. I mean, she's not afraid to shoot the basketball, whether she has somebody in her face or not.
Great job by Longs just to put her hand on top of the ball there and not foul and tip it free. And so a held ball, alternating possession goes to Cooper this time. The Hawks lead it 9-6. Gaston pushing it and then brings it back out.
And they switch back to that zone and another three. So Cooper's going to get the opportunity to shoot those threes. They're going to have to make them, and that's going to be a turnover.
Orono trying to push it up court a little bit. The pass was behind Knudsen, so it'll go out of bounds, and we get Cooper possession back.
Seems to me that Orono probably is used to pushing the basketball, and they figure, you know what, that may be the strength of this Cooper team, but we're going to do what we do best and see what happens.
Yeah, Coach Glover Verhagen really said that there. And that's going to be a travel inside.
Sure was.
Massaquoi looked at, a nice idea to make that pass, but she talked about, we have to do our thing. She said, it isn't like we don't scout, but we don't change what we do every night based on who we're playing. Even when it's a really good opponent like this, she just feels like it's more important to stick with your strengths and really work that as best you can. Yeah, you're aware of the tendencies of the other team and whatnot, but
that's a bad pass and an interception.
And a good job defensively to get in front of the cutter there, too. Here's Gaston driving, score it, and a foul as Cooper getting things going a little bit after the slow start, and Gaston has contributed off the bench.
And again, taking the opportunity to push the basketball up. And really, they didn't have numbers, but she took advantage. Look at that. It was a 2-on-3 situation, and Gaston made things happen. Just stayed aggressive, went right to the basket, and drew the foul.
Nice job really splitting between the two defenders there. And, wow, she's had a nice start to this one. 8 points already for the Hawks, and they lead it now 12-6 after the three-point play by Gaston.
So Gaston off the bench has 8 of their 12 points.
Loader driving, no good with the left hand. He's had a high volume of shots. Not that many have gone in so far yet. Here's Buford stopping and firing. No. Asia Wheeler, the rebound and basket.
Well, they're going to have to keep the Hawks off the board. I mean, that wasn't even Mimi. That was Asia Wheeler. They're going to have to keep Cooper off the boards, or this could turn ugly quickly.
14-6 advantage for Cooper. They're really upping the defensive pressure now and getting Orono to speed up more than they'd like, I think. And
you're going to get that. You're going to get those fouls when you're aggressive defensively. That time, Gaston picks up the foul. And good look at Coach Buford there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you never really say it's a good thing to pick up a foul, but also you really get into the offensive player's head a little bit if you're that aggressive out there. And there's the steal from Gaston there.
Boy, she has just been a difference maker here. Oh, misses that one, though.
Asia Wheeler gets the rebound and put back.
Well, the combination of Gaston making things happen and then Wheeler on the offensive boards.
Yeah, that's the thing. That you see an aggressive drive there, and even though they missed the layup, it really sets things up to offensive rebound when you break the defense down like that. And Loader, I think, was held as she went to the court, and Buford, it looked like, wrapped her arm around her waist.
Let's see.
Right. Or around the arm.
Yeah, she grabbed her arm. There's no question.
So that's number 2 on Jada Buford, and then team foul number 5 against the Hawks is a timeout taken here. Cooper leading it by 10.
Well, and this is a good timeout for Orono. They need to settle things down. You know, as much as Orono might want to push the ball, and Coach Glover Fairhagen wants to do the things that they do, I think they have to be a little bit more deliberate, because Cooper's going to run away in a fast break type of game. It's going to be Cooper's game. That's what they want. They want this to be a fast pace, up and down the floor type of game. And Orono is probably not going to be able to keep up with them. And we've seen that already. And the other thing is that, you know, in the early going, Cooper was missing those easy shots. They're making them now, and they're getting second opportunities.
Loader off the inbound. It won't drop.
But Wheeler again on the boards.
Asia Wheeler steps through and gets the layup to go. She has 4 hoops now, 8 points, and it's an 18-6 lead.
So 8 for her and 8 for Gaston.
And there's a steal by Gaston. Bouncing it over. Buford, shot fake, and then it wouldn't drop. Rebound, though, by Massaquoi, and she scores.
Well, I think that Buford would hear from her sister, why don't you use your left hand on that? She tried to use right hand on the left-hand side, and it rolled off. But you could see why Cooper's so effective now, and there's an offensive foul. You could see why they're so effective. The defensive pressure and the combination of their quickness stepping into these passing lanes. Again, Loader losing the ball there. See this? She should right-handed on the left-handed side. If she shot that left-handed, that thing goes in.
So some of the things that Orono feared kind of coming into play here as they're giving up offensive rebounds, they're giving up turnovers out high on the court.
Yeah, you cannot turn the ball over. Cooper's going to take advantage. I mean, we saw it earlier. 2-on-3, they're going to push the basketball.
Here's Asia Wheeler dumping it over to Massaquoi. That one hits the bottom of the backboard under defensive pressure there. Knocked away. It's off of Cooper. It will stay with the Spartans.
Oh, no. Of course, we're at the other end of the court.
Loader bringing it up. Gaston defending her.
But Loader's going to be tired at the end of this game. I mean, she's got to bring it up. She's taking all the shots, including that one. Just, I mean, she'll shoot from anywhere.
Tribble running it back. Nice pass over to Gaston. Layup is good and a foul. And Cooper has really gotten it going on all cylinders now after a slow start.
And here's the other thing. Loader comes down and no passes, fires up a 3. Those long rebounds off of missed threes are going to lead to just what you saw there, another fast break opportunity, and Cooper knows it. They smell blood right now early.
Amelia Singleton picked up the foul there, and now Brecken coming back into the lineup. Asia Wheeler getting a break here for Cooper as Gaston goes to the free throw line. And that one will spin out. Good hustle by Massaquoi, but then the pass goes out of play. It'll be Orono basketball.
Cooper sticking with a person-to-person defense, and again, Loader bringing it up against pressure. Sometimes as a scorer like she is, you get frustrated and you try to do too much by yourself, and there's another example of it. Great pass.
The steal and Longs for the layup.
That's just a great pass by Gaston. Recognition of Longs running the floor and gets her for the easy hoop.
24-6. Cooper blowing it open here.
Look, Singleton almost hooked her defender there.
Nice baseline cut, but it wouldn't drop for Johnson, and then the Hawks able to save it. Tribble pushing it back the other way for Cooper. Into traffic, and going to be a blocking foul against the Spartans.
No. Looked like a charge. And I think that time, if Tribble had her head up a little more, she had a wide open teammate in the corner. I don't recall who it was. Let's see if you can see the foul. Tribble goes to the line. But the last possession for Orono, Jay, if I'm coaching Orono right now, I'd say I like that last possession a lot more. They move the basketball around. You're not depending everything on Madeline Loader to come down and fire up a shot. You know, you got 4 players that are kind of standing around, and if they don't touch the basketball, you get out of rhythm.
Tribble makes a pair, so a 20-point lead for Cooper.
Talk about contributions. Tribble, just a 9th grader. You know, you've got a couple of freshmen on this club.
Down to the baseline, and this one is good for 3 as Elena Eichstead, who's come off the bench, knocks one down. Boy, Orono needed that. They had been on a long drought.
Yeah. Well, see what they're. Yeah, they've switched to a man now too. I'm not sure that that's going to be very effective though against Cooper.
Buford the miss there. Loader looking ahead.
Boy, see how much better Orono is when Loader passes the basketball. That was a really good pass and a good look inside, and now they're going to go to the free throw line.
This will be Gaston picking it up as she tried to get back into the play there. And Hughes will go to the free throw line. So that's number 2 on Gaston. That's one of the few minor concerns for the Hawks right now, is both Buford and Gaston have a couple of fouls.
Well, you know, when you're aggressive, you're going to pick up fouls. And I'm sure Coach Buford will hold off as long as she can to take them out, because you don't want to pick up that 3rd before halftime if you can avoid it.
So 5 in a row now for the Spartans, and they bring it back down to 15. Long's looking inside. Kiara Wheeler's turnaround is short. And then knocked away, though, by Gaston. Buford.
Nice little up and under.
Got it over to Longs. That one no good. And then a tie-up will go Orono's way.
That's Orono's, yeah. Now let's watch carefully now, see the distribution here. See if Loader is a little less single-minded here. You know, good player like her, she's going to get frustrated if she doesn't get what she wants as far as the team playing well, and that hasn't happened so far.
Missed the shot here. Johnson.
That's a travel.
And then grant the timeout before she rolled over, I guess, is the ruling. So
okay. We'll go with that. But again, Loader came down and just fired up a 3, and I as good as she can be with the kind of defensive pressure that Cooper's putting on, I think they're way better off if she distributes more too and goes to the basket. But the combination of those two, I think, will be way more effective for Orono. Right now, when she comes down and just fires up a 3, Cooper's grabbing those long rebounds and they're off to the races.
Well, and the thing is too, and not just that she's shooting so much, but it's not coming off of a pass returning to her. It's not coming off a screen or anything either.
No, it's not out of the offense.
Walk up and shoot.
No, it's not out of the offense. It's her dribbling up and firing up shots. And how many times do you see that it's so ineffective? I mean, unless you're red hot. And maybe she's trying to shoot herself into the game, and that could be too. She's trying to get hot, but right now she's got 1 bucket. Right? Correct? 1 basket. 2 baskets. Okay.
Loader looking to attack this time. Too hard off the glass. Buford with the rebound for Cooper.
Cooper's going to push it.
Oh, Loader nearly had the steal, but Buford gets it back, and then a foul on Orono's Hughes.
Yeah, Loader came from behind after she missed at the other end and hit the floor. It was a 5-on-4 for Cooper, and then she snuck up from behind and poked that ball away. But as you mentioned, Hughes picks up the foul.
And Cooper's quickness showing up, and even just a play like that, where Buford got to that ball pretty quick after it had been knocked away. Buford back out to Tribble. Yeah, a little globetrotter unintentionally there, I think, but able to get it away.
Yeah, it's the one thing I tell you right now, Coach Buford doesn't want too much dribbling. There you go. Move the ball around. Pass and cut.
Jada Buford had it knocked away, and then
ultimately Orono got it, but Longs takes it right back, goes for the left-hand layup.
You know, a mistake that a lot of high school players make against the zone defense is to try and dribble through it and then try and find an open player, particularly when they pack the lane like they have. Cooper does a really good job of getting off of their off of the player that they are defending. And you can see Longs with the nice drive here and the left-handed finish.
Longs called for the bump, and it seems as though Loader kind of got the message in that last huddle. You need to look to drive the ball a little bit more too, not settle for those threes, and that time was able to pick up a foul.
I think that they're way better. If Loader is bent on trying to score every time down, I'd much rather have her driving to the basket than just firing up threes, particularly the way Cooper plays defense. I mean, Cooper is up in your face. Those aren't easy threes that she's shooting. It's not like they're wide open threes off of a catch and shoot.
That was a foul on Loader, and it's the 7th team foul. That means Tribble goes to the free throw line. She made her first couple. This one, however, spins out. So the lead stays at 17. Loader driving, hits the edge of the backboard with that one, and here come the Hawks. Asia Wheeler pushing it up the middle. The defense splits. Oh, she missed the layup, though. Wheeler ends up back with it, scores, and a foul. Longs got in the middle of that and got knocked down, and Wheeler just grabs the ball and calmly puts it in.
Boy, Cooper does such a good job on the offensive boards. Watch. Misses this one. As you said, Longs kind of kept it alive, and then Wheeler says, here, I'll take it and throw it in. And then she helps Longs up. Maybe that was the assist. And the free throw, boy.
Yeah, free throw is good, so Cooper back to a 20-point advantage now.
Yeah, they're basically right back where they were.
Here's Loader driving, hits the bottom of the rim. Pushed back the other way, shot won't drop. Offensive rebound try by Tribble won't drop. Rachel Constant has the rebound for Orono.
Well, Spartans want to push it here, and then Cooper is so quick they get back, there is no push. Nice pass.
Constant short shot will go. Great assist by Emma Stavig. So Constant getting the bucket here as the Orono's gotten a little deeper into their bench now. 31-13 lead for Cooper. Also in for the Hawks here is Sierra Lynch, number 23. Wheeler whipping it inside, knocked away. Loader all the way for the layup.
Now, she's not going to miss that. And TT Longs knew better than to pick up a foul there. That's a tough pass.
Longs trying to get it to Wheeler. I think Cooper was fortunate that Orono got a little piece of that one.
I'm not sure how much of a piece that's Loader got of that, but just enough.
Wheeler inbounding. Lynch coming wide open, but missed it. Asia Wheeler, though, gets it back and scores.
Boy, Asia Wheeler, I don't have rebounding stats in front of me, but Asia Wheeler has been pounding the boards.
Does a nice job, too, of going right back up with it quickly. Not dribbling or wasting any motion.
No, that's a
shot no good, then it's knocked away by Orono. It'll be Cooper ball.
And that's another mistake that a lot of high school and younger players make. They get the ball, and the first thing they want to do is put it on the floor. And obviously, Asia Wheeler is well schooled. If I'm catching the ball, especially at her size, she's not the biggest player on the floor. She's kind of a medium height type player. If I get the ball under there, I got to go right up quickly and beat everybody. And she uses her quickness.
Longs giving it up. Tribble driving it into traffic over to Mimi Wheeler for the layup. She's been pretty quiet today while her sisters had the big game, but Wheeler gets her first bucket. And it's a 20-point lead again for Cooper. Here's Loader with the left-hand layup. She is relentless. She's going to continue to shoot the ball.
She's going to the basket. If she sees an opening, she's going to go to the basket. I think you make a great point, though, that the way that Cooper has hit the boards has been a huge difference, and you see Loader on that left-handed scoop that time.
Well, that was a nice stop and go move there. You could really see why that would fool the defender. It looked like she was going to, cut it, pull the ball back out, and she just a little turn of the shoulders and went back to the layup.
I got news for you. She's not pulling it back out. She's going to the basket or she's going to shoot it. Fun to watch. I can see how she's going to score 25 points a game. There's no question about that, because he's going to shoot it just about every time down. But way more effective Orono has been when Loader has decided to go to the basket instead of just coming up and shooting threes.
We approach 3 minutes to go in the first half. Cooper leading 35-17. This is the semifinals of the Section 6 3A tournament. The championship game will be contested at Chanhassen, and the winner of this one plays Benilde or Waconia. That semifinal being played this Saturday night. Missed there by Kiara Wheeler on the drive.
So the winner here will have an opportunity to scout.
Yep.
Because this is an afternoon game, and then that'll be a night game.
Asia Wheeler had some trouble with the dribble there. The Orono bench wanted a double dribble or travel there. They don't get it, and then eventually a foul call going against the Spartans, Kristen Van Buren.
You know, one thing I noticed that Cooper does a lot of, they take shots that aren't necessarily great shots, but they're so good on the offensive board that it doesn't backfire on them at all. You know, a lot of times you take bad shots and the other team's going to be off to the races the other direction. Cooper is so good on the offensive board that they're not afraid to shoot a difficult shot, particularly when they're close to the basket.
Kiara Coops, who had just come off the bench, getting a couple of free throws, been another valuable front court bench contributor for the Hawks this year. The lead is back to 20. And a three put up there and won't drop for Van Buren. Kiara Wheeler clears it. Now they look ahead. Coops got the feed from Tribble. Coops will go to the free throw line again.
Boy, Cooper just runs so many people at you, as you mentioned, Coops, and we saw Massaquoi, and I mean, they just have so many players.
Free throw good.
And that's another thing. They've been pretty good at the free throw line as well.
Yeah, just a couple of misses. Second free throw also good, and she
not just good, perfect.
Yeah, you get watching those two, you get the feeling she could hit 50 in a row.
Yeah,
just calmly drops them in. 39-17 now, 22-point lead for Cooper as we go under 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Loader with it out high.
See the double team? She drills right into the double team and gets her pocket pick. She just can't do that. That's what hurt them earlier.
Asia Wheeler now over to Tribble, and that's good for three.
Oh, boy, that starts going in. You know, the drive and kick, and Cooper hasn't done too much of the drive and kick. They did it there, and Tribble buries the three.
Loader through traffic, draws the foul this time, and will head to the free throw line.
Now, she's fortunate they're going to give her 2 on that, because it looked to me at the end she decided she was going to try and pass it instead of shoot it. Although the official has seen her shoot so much today, he probably figured, oh, that was a shot.
Free throw is good by Loader.
So that's 10 for Loader now. On probably at least 20 shots, I would guess.
Misses the second one and knocked out of bounds by Coops. So it will stay with the Spartans here.
Well, the Spartans, they would like, if they could get this thing inside of 20 somehow before the end of the half, that would be a good goal.
Loader missing. Mimi Wheeler with the rebound here, looking to push it up. Whoops. There's probably not the 2 players they wanted bringing it up there, but they eventually get it done. Now Asia Wheeler through traffic and scoring. Bouncing off bodies and finishing in traffic.
Well, you can see Asia Wheeler is really feeling it today.
And we will get a foul call here against Cooper. Look at Wheeler battling through. You know, it's interesting because it certainly looked like some contact there that they didn't call, but I think that's to Cooper's advantage if it's a game where they're not calling everything. So
no question. But Loader has changed her mindset for the most part now. You could see that when she gets the ball now, she's driving every single time. She hasn't settled for a 3 in quite a while. And she's been effective. She's been way more effective driving the basketball. And she hits free throws.
Loader making a pair here, so it's a 44-20 lead for Cooper as we tick under a minute to play here in this first half. Dribble to Massaquoi and around to Wheeler. Loader poked it away, but Asia Wheeler getting it back. Nice crossover move here and travel.
Now, Asia Wheeler has just done so much and done everything so well. But she just goes to the basket every single time. She sees an opening and she just goes.
Here's Loader driving and splits the defenders and scores.
Again, driving to the basket, not settling for threes. And as the game wears on, you know, the defenders get a little more tired. That becomes an easier option.
And I think Cooper has picked up a few fouls on those last few drives too, so they're maybe, you know, backing up just a little bit there too.
That's a good point.
Massaquoi, the offensive rebound.
That should have been a foul.
Coops grabs it.
That's definitely a foul.
She will head to the free throw line.
You know, it could have been called a little earlier too, but they'll still go to the line, and we'll see Coops shoot a pair. That's a foul.
Case will pick it up. And just when we talked about her, she was so good at the line, this time misses.
Of course, we jinxed her. That's the way it goes.
Only 3 seconds left in the half here. Coops trying to at least get one out of the two, and she does.
Just a nice, easy, smooth stroke, though.
So 45-22, last try by Loader will not go. And we reach the halfway point in this one. Cooper doing a lot of good things here after a little bit of a slow start, getting out and running, getting a lot of offensive boards, and they hold a commanding lead at this point.
Yeah, they have done just about everything that they've wanted to do, push the basketball, and the only caveat was that slow start.
Let's go over now to Allie with Coach Buford.
Coach, a very balanced attack in that first half. What did you like?
I think I like our tempo. There's still things I feel like I'm harping on them about, so I'm trying to, you know, just keep our tempo going on offense and making sure we can get the ball inside. I like to see the ball go inside a little bit more off of our guards, you know, kind of dribbling and kicking it or dropping it in the low to that weak side block. So that's where I'm going to kind of emphasize coming into the second half.
Is there anything that you want to see out of the girls work on just a little bit more to try to perfect as you possibly move in advance in the round?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things like game plan wise that we've been working on, and so you always want to kind of clean that up. And are we sticking to our game plan? Are we making sure that we're closing the gaps? And do we know where number 22 is? And are we helping appropriately? So just those little things.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Buford. We will hear from Orono's head coach, Lavessa Glover-Verhagen, as well, coming into the second half. 45-22 Cooper, our score here at halftime. We'll be back with more here from Cooper High School in just a moment.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience. And as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Welcome back here to the home of the Cooper Hawks. They lead at 45-22 in the Section 6 3A girls basketball semifinals as we check out some of the first half highlights. A pretty eventful first half. Cooper really got it going After a little bit of a slow start, Asia Wheeler was dynamite in that first half, Wally.
Yeah, she really was, both pushing the basketball and on the offensive boards. I think you can't overlook what she was able to do on the offensive boards.
Loader popping a three here. She did not shoot well, especially from outside. That one did go in, and eventually she started to really drive the ball. There's a nice steal. Boy, Gaston provided a real spark off the bench with 10 first half points. You missed here, but Longs gets the putback and layup there for the Hawks.
And I think you make a great point that Gaston came off the bench and gave them some energy that really kind of got things going. You see her hit a three right there, and it made a difference in the basketball game. I think it kind of changed the whole complexion of the game.
And Wheeler was relentless. They really concentrated on keeping the other Wheeler off the glass. But Asia Wheeler got to the rebound and then she does such a nice job on the break of avoiding defenders there, stepping through like that.
Yeah. And you know, a little bit of help here for Orono from Eichstad hitting a three, but really they have been dependent on this girl. And it's been Madeline Loader leading the way for Orono, although she has taken more than her share of shots so far.
Tribble knocking down a three right there for Cooper. And looks like Coach Glover Verhagen is ready with Allie. Let's go to Allie.
Coach, definitely a tough half for you. Good hands. Tough half, what did you see?
You know, honestly, Cooper's great at pressure, so you know we were going to get that. You know, and I think that our goals were to limit our turnovers and to rebound. And we did that pretty well in the first 6 minutes. And after that, we kind of had a little drop. But honestly, if we were making shots, you know, from what we're statting, if we were making even half of our shots, I think this would be a little bit of a different game.
Does any part of you want to make an adjustment and put Loader on the block because of that height advantage?
You know, to be honest, I think that would, she's such a facilitator. And you know, we would love to put her on the block, but I know they're going to come double team her, they're going to come triple team her. So, you know, I think our adjustment should be patience. I think our adjustment should be looking at what the good options are for us. You might see a little bit more screens, you might see a little bit more cuts. So just getting a little bit more action for all of our girls.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thanks. You.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks, Coach. As we look at our first half scores, Loader did end up with 14, but as we said, had to take an awful lot of shots to get there. Wheeler with a great first half with 15, but Gaston with 10 off the bench, providing a big spark, and Longs with 6-2. And Longs doesn't always get, you know, plays run for her or whatever, but she's a player that can create things with her defense and rebounding and passing. Just does a little bit of everything for this Cooper team. You know, I think patience was a good word there, really coming in, because that certainly is something Orono needed more of in their offense, I think, Wally.
Well, and as we talked about a little bit earlier, Coach Glover Verhagen thought that, you know, maybe they could push the basketball and see how they can handle Cooper running up and down the floor. That hasn't worked out. I think if they try to turn this more into a half-court game and move the basketball around, get Madeline Loader in positions where she can score and or facilitate, I think they're a much better basketball team and have an opportunity to beat this Cooper team. Or at least make a game of it. Let's put it that way. They're down by 23 points at half. This is going to be a tough road home.
That's the part now where when you're the team that's trailing, you know, you almost kind of don't want to look at the scoreboard for a little while, just because it looks like such a big margin. You just want to kind of chip away and get to the point where you're at least, you know, somewhat in striking range. And Cooper, on the other hand, that's the one thing for Cooper, is that first half they played wasn't like they played above their head or anything. This is how they played all year. That's why they're 24-2. And both of their losses were to 4A teams that were ranked in the top 10, Centennial and Hopkins. Buford, nice move, and then goes back out to Longs. That one is short.
Now, if they can force Cooper to shoot from out there, that's what they want. That's what Orono would want. That's a travel.
That's a travel, yeah. Just not quite a clean catch by Jordan Case as she fumbled the ball just a little bit. She had her feet set initially and then kind of lost possession briefly, and that caused the travel, so Cooper will get it right back.
And she was smiling as she went down the court because she made the three. She shot it after she traveled and made the three, but it does not count. And again, you see that 1-2-2 zone that Orono is in. And you have Loader out front on it. Interesting, and she makes the steal.
Yeah, got her hands in. They've done that to her a couple times. She comes back the other way with quick hands, and then the ball lost. Turnover, and Gaston will run it back the other way for Cooper. Gaston,
beautiful.
Nice dish. Layup good by Longs.
And again, that was a 2-on-3, Jay. I mean, Cooper, they don't care. They're coming at you. 2-on-3, and they continue the fast break.
Boy, we're in a good position to see that too. I thought she was going to, force up a shot in traffic there, and instead it was perfect timing when she released that pass. And we get a tie-up after the missed jumper. Here's Gaston's great pass.
Beautiful. Just at the last second with the defense collapsing around her.
And then Longs quickly went up with it too. No hesitation, lays it in.
So now out to a 25-point lead.
Loader missing. Buford rebounds. Buford's going to go all the way, and layup is good.
You can try and turn it into a half-court game, which I think is what Orono is trying to do. But if you don't get back on defense, it doesn't matter. And obviously, Cooper's not afraid to come at you, even if you are back. There's another pick.
Gaston stepping in for the steal, and her layup is good.
Coach Clever Verhagen may have to use a timeout here. This is getting out of hand.
Gaston, who had been a member of the starting lineup before getting injured, rewarded with, after her good first half, she's on the court to begin half two. We get a foul call here against Gaston. That'll be her third.
Look at that. A steal with the left hand, too. Kind of reached in there at the last second and picked her pocket.
I'll give some credit to the officials there. A lot of times officials, when they see a reach in, they just automatically blow the whistle there, and she looked to be a clean steal, and she went all the way.
Sure was. That's a travel.
Yep. As looked like Longs changed her mind there where she was going to pass that ball at the last second.
Yep.
So Gaston with that third foul will check out. Tribble comes back in.
And Loader walking the ball up the floor.
See Cooper really shading over to help Wheeler when Loader drives. There's a block by Mimi Wheeler. And then the ball lost on the way out, and it's a 3-on-0, and Orono will get the layup there.
I was waiting for Loader. I was waiting for Loader to fire a 3 up there. She made the correct pass.
Although, for Orono, it kind of indicated, though, they had 3 people still back there. If the ball had gone the other way, they would have been badly outnumbered up court. They've got to be not only, just run back, but you've got to kind of have some floor balance that you're in position to get back to.
Well, Mimi Wheeler missing that time. And she struggled. Mimi Wheeler has struggled to get the ball in the basket today.
Yeah, she's not been a big factor like she is in most games. A couple points. I know that was really a point of emphasis for Orono to make sure they blocked her out. But it hasn't exactly hurt. And that nice pass here over to Buford. Gets control. No good, but was fouled. And she will shoot as Case reached in.
Well, and the other thing that I'm seeing a lot of is how unselfish Cooper is. I mean, immediately, that was an immediate pass from Mimi Wheeler. She didn't even think about it. She was like catch and pass immediately. And got it over to Buford, and Buford ends up going to the line. Missing the first one, but a 27-point lead, and they were up, 23 at the half, 22 at the half?
Buford missing a pair here. And so Orono try to capitalize on that. But a quick shot is an air ball there. Taken from the right side by Johnson.
Yeah, they would need a bunch of those, and they'd have to go in.
Longs looking inside and then now around. We heard Coach Buford say that's one thing they'd maybe like to get a little bit more is post touches. And here is Mimi Wheeler. Turn around here, won't go. Jada Buford up in traffic for the rebound. So Jada isn't the strongest player. She's thin, but got up in traffic, quick jumper, and just grabs it out of the Orono player's hands and goes right back up.
And again, you saw Wheeler's that's her shot. It's just not going in today. But it hasn't really mattered because Cooper is so good on the offensive boards. And here they come again. I mean, there's no hesitation. We're off to the races.
Here's Tribble for the layup, and it's good. They've got really good speed among their guards.
Oh. Yeah, you better not get tired against Cooper because they're going to run right past you.
55-24, Hawks lead.
Biggest lead of the game. I don't necessarily think that that's a foul, no.
Knudsen trying to drive in traffic there and just not able to.
No, they haven't been able to convert on many like that. We've seen Loader basically try that step through the 2 defenders type of thing 3 or 4 times, and it hasn't really come up for them.
Massaquoi
Nice
gets
move.
free and spin move and scores with the left hand.
Well, you know what? The ability and the use of that left hand, it's so a lot of defenders just aren't ready to defend somebody who's left-handed or somebody who can use their left hand.
Tribble that time will be called for the foul. She kind of thought she saw an opening to jump in for the steal and didn't get it. Boy, just did a nice job of keeping the defender right on her hip too, so she could make that spin move into a natural layup move.
33-point lead. Oof.
And we will get a bump here as Loader was driving, and Buford will be called for the foul. That is her 3rd.
I don't think. I mean, I think both of us thought that this was a game that Cooper should win, but I wasn't expecting a 33-point game. That's for sure.
Loader flipping it up, no good. Long's running it back the other way. Tribble will stop and fire a 3. It's short, but she goes back and gets it herself.
Look at that.
And it drops
in. Boy, Tribble has, here's another player coming off the bench and giving him some offensive juice. Gets her own rebound, comes in and then scoops it up and then picks up the foul too. Man.
Brecken was called for the foul there for Orono. Tribble trying to complete the 3-point play. The freshman has 9 points and make it 10. So big contributor this year for the Hawks. 60-24 now. Cooper is really starting to put this one away early. Loader will stop and fire and hits the 3. First bucket of the second half. She has 17 on the afternoon.
And I believe only her second 3 of the game, though, correct? Yeah, she hit one relatively early and missed a bunch in between, and then she hits that one. The other thing, when you're in a zone the entire game, sometimes, and I'm not suggesting that it's what's happened to Orono because Cooper has just played so well, but sometimes you tend to fall asleep defensively. You're on the weak side, and before you know it, somebody's stepping in front of you and getting a weak side rebound because you've been in a zone the whole game and you don't have that energy.
Saw that hoop from Loader, got a little bit of a screen. That was probably more open room than she's had most of the afternoon there.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised that they haven't set her some high screens, particularly with her ability to both shoot from the outside and drive. That's a carry.
And that'll be a travel.
Sure is.
As Knudsen fell to a knee and kind of had the ball caught on her hand.
Yeah. Or substitution.
Yep, Stavig coming back in for Orono. She played briefly late in that first half and had a nice assist. Inside to Massaquoi. This time, I think somebody got a piece of that on the way up.
Yeah, and she didn't use the backboard that time. She used the backboard earlier.
Loader shooting up a 3, no good. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Cooper ball.
Yeah, Loader stopped and popped that time. And, she was on the left side. It was just kind of an awkward type of adjustment she had to make in midair to shoot that basketball.
Cross it comes to Coops.
And Cooper doing a good job of moving the basketball around.
Long.
Make the extra pass and then get the basket.
Nice possession there for the Hawks. Yeah, you'd like to run through your offense a little bit if you're them right now, and that'll be a foul call against Cooper's Asia Wheeler.
Yeah, and here's another thing, too. I think that one of the things that Coach Buford, I think that she even mentioned it to Allie during the, briefly before the halftime break. When you get a big lead and you know you're going to win the basketball game, or vice versa, when you're behind, but particularly when you're ahead and you know you've got another game coming up here for the section championship, you need to work on things. Let's not just do one-on-one type stuff. Let's not do things that we aren't going to do in a situation where the game is competitive. Let's work on our offense. Let's work on, let's run a play that we might need later on. And I think that those are the type of things that she's going to want to emphasize. Yeah, you want to get some kids some playing time, some of your younger players and some players who haven't got an opportunity to play. But I think more importantly for Cooper now is, okay, let's run some things that, because you know what, you've got a few days of practice before your next game, but there's nothing like going against another team trying to do things that you want to do.
Massaquoi left it short there inside. And now Stavig coming away with it. Loader kicking it ahead.
Good shot.
And that'll be good for 3 as it's knocked down by Eichstad, who made a 3 in the first half also.
Yep.
Well, it looks like they called that one a 2. So a 2-pointer there. Inside again to Massaquoi and makes the same move. This time finishes strong.
And again, using the backboard, stepped around, one bounce up and good. Loader again fading to her left. That's a tough shot. She's right-handed. Kind of does a stop and pop fading to her left. That should be, and it is, Orono's ball.
Yeah, knocked out of Tribble's hands, but then it hit her other hand as she, look at the nice pass inside, and Massaquoi. She's had about 3 of these. A couple of them haven't fallen. That one has gone and made it twice.
She does a good job of using her body to shield off the defender and then use the rim as well. Really nice job at Massaquoi.
Look for the wing jumper again from Eichstad, no good.
Oh boy, 4-on-1.
Gaston.
You know what's going to happen.
Layup good.
4-on-1, it's lights out. And we're approaching running time here.
66-31 lead here for the Hawks. Loader into the lane, no good. Gets it back herself.
Yeah, I think Loader probably should have just taken that thing straight up. She put it on the floor, and the defense closed in on her.
Gaston going to be called for a carry.
Ooh. So it is running time now.
See that pass, and Tribble running the break well. Good spacing there too. A lot of times you see players when they're a little bit younger, they're out too far or they're into the middle too far next to the dribbler, and they just had good spacing there.
4-on-1 breaks for Cooper usually going to turn out pretty good.
That one hits the side of the glass, recovered though by the Spartans, and they'll come back out. Loader stepping in, that is way short. Offensive rebound try won't drop that time for Gabby Germanson, who's checked in. Gaston going to the hole and scores.
Or 2-on-4. 4-on-1, 2-on-4, no matter. Just go right to the basket.
68-31 Hawks. Loader was fouled.
Now the last 7.5 minutes of this game are going to go by quickly, obviously, because of the running time. But I still think if I'm Coach Buford here, great, let's take the fast break if it's there. But I wouldn't mind having Orono get back in defense and set up and force us to run our offense, because you're going to see that going forward. As much as you want to push the ball, and that's their game, you get a team that has, a few more weapons than Orono has and is able to slow the game up a little bit, you're going to have to be able to adjust to that. So, and here's a good situation. Now Orono's in their zone. They're in like that 2-1-2 zone. Let's see how Cooper does against it.
Lynch back out to Gaston. She'll step into the lane, look to bank it, no good. And now Loader coming back the other way for the Spartans. Had it knocked away. It'll stay with Orono. See, good hands
good defense
by Lynch.
It's really good defense. Loader held that ball a little bit too low. Oh, she's going to shoot this. Yep.
And a foul called there.
You can just tell she got that look in her eye.
Foul's going to be on Gaston. It'll be her 4th. So it wasn't the shot block that was the foul. It was the original defender, Gaston. Yep. They're trying to fight over the screen who kind of bumped into her. And it's not going to be a shooting foul. It'll be reaching before the player. Loader went up. And Gaston pokes it away. All the way in and lays it in.
Boy, that was a tough shot, too, because Loader did a good job of getting back on defense and forced her to change her shot, and Gaston adjusted. Gaston's just been great. The combination of her and Wheeler, and here they come again.
Drew Gaston. Shot fake here, gave it up. Oh, Masquet almost fell, but then got her balance and scored.
You know, I talked about it earlier, and there's Gaston again. So unselfish. And look at the hustle comeback by Tribble. I mean, Tribble was at half court, saw it, and just raced back into the picture.
Massaquoi not able to get it to go there, but Cooper has really blown this one open. Lynch will be called for the foul. No bucket, of course. And
now watch this, the pick. Look how she adjusts her shot here. See that? She just kind of finger rolled it instead of going straight up, kind of a little delay. And Massaquoi. Huh. Yeah, you can see, this is my first time seeing him in person. I saw him a little bit when you guys did a game earlier on television, but here on CCX. But this is the first time I've seen Cooper play in person, and you can see why they're #1 in the state. I mean, they're loaded.
They will be playing Thursday night at Chanhassen for the Section 6 championship, a neutral site game. They'll face either Waconia or Benilde St. Margaret's. Of course, Benilde is in their conference in the Metro West, and they've defeated the Red Knights twice. One of them was the TV game we had here. The first time was a real blowout, 40 points. Second one was a little closer, about 18 or so.
Beautiful pass.
And Lynch will lay it in.
See, and Coach Buford is up on the sidelines clapping because she knows that that's going to be important, what they just did right there. Great, we'll take all the fast break baskets, but she knows how important what just happened. That's going to, ooh, I don't know, looked like a good block.
Loader will be called for the foul, and yeah, she thought so too, and it looked to be pretty clean. I think Gaston knew it too, but hey, that happens. So 16 tonight for Gaston, and not quite able to get that one to go.
Well, she's done everything else. I think I'm going to get too upset if she misses a free throw when you're up by 40 points. Okay, 39 points.
Approaching 3 minutes to go here. Cooper rolling, a timeout now taken by Orono.
Yeah, I think she wants to take some players out and get some kids in, that maybe get all her seniors in potentially, or get some younger players in, one or the other. But for Cooper, I mean, you basically have done everything that you wanted to do here. You're going to win the basketball game going away. No injuries. You started out slow, and I think we anticipated a little bit of that. I thought, and you heard Coach Glover Verhagen of Orono talk about the fact that they did the things they wanted early on. But really and truly, and I think I mentioned it in the early going, Jay, I said, if I'm Coach Buford, I'm not disappointed right now. We're just missing shots. And that changed. And as soon as they started making those shots that they were missing in the early going, I mean, you saw Massaquoi get so many easy baskets here, and then the spark that they got off the bench, the play of Gaston off the bench, and it's just been you don't want to say a perfect performance, but all but perfect performance by Cooper tonight. And now they will put in all their subs. So they've gotten out of this exactly what they wanted. They got the win. Now you got 3 minutes where you can have your young players get in there and say they played in a section playoff game.
Loader the miss, Stavig the rebound. And then the jumper knocked down, a two-pointer by Anna Hughes. We'll try and get you the Cooper subs quick as we can here. Isabella Thomas, 41, is in there, a freshman. Number 3, Lene Davis, a sophomore. Also 14, Isabella Hall, a 7th grader. Almost lost there by Davis. They go inside here, and the hoop is good by Autumn Johnson, number 15, getting
a sophomore.
Score on the scoreboard right away.
Boy, and you have a 7th grader out there? Wow. I'd say the Cooper program is in good shape.
So free throws upcoming here for Loader.
Loader kind of licking her chops with all these smaller, younger players in there. But she's been licking her chops all game long. Who are we kidding?
Inbound pass knocked away. It'll stay with Orono. And the Cooper player was on the sideline there,
Yep.
Davis.
Another turnover.
Germanson coming back in here for the Spartans. Loader driving it to the middle, flips it up, no good. Rebounded there by Autumn Johnson.
Nice catch.
Yeah, Deshawnee Jones passing it there to Thomas. Thomas now kicks it back out. She'll get the return. They're kind of bunched up there a little bit. And shot no good. Probably would have been a foul in a less lopsided game.
Yeah.
But play goes on.
And they're just going to let things go.
And Loader driving, and she was fouled.
I think I might have let that one go too.
This one might eat up most of the remaining time here as the clock continues to tick as Loader gets set to go to the line.
Yeah, there may not be another. Yeah, well, there may not be any more live action. Maybe these free throws might be it. Down to 30 seconds.
Loader hits.
How many does Loader have now? She's up to 20?
Yeah, 24.
24. $25. Right on her average, 25. Look out.
Oh, wow.
You like that one-handed grab?
That was
pretty good.
outstanding.
Huh? One hand.
Couple seconds to go, and the clock's going to tick down, and Cooper will advance to the Section 6 championship as they take it to Orono here today to win it by a score of 76-39. Wally, as you said, not perfect, but pretty darn good, especially after that layoff.
Yeah, they got off to the slow start, and I think that had something to do with the layoff. Just knock some rust off, getting used to what your opponent can and can't do. And then it was all Cooper after that. A great contribution off the bench by Gaston. And I think that, in as much as anything, helped turn the game and get Cooper going, doing the things that they want to do. Nice game, Asia Wheeler, particularly on the boards. I thought Asia Wheeler was just terrific, getting offensive rebounds. And again, Coach Buford got basically everything she wanted out of this game. You won big, you did the things you like to do, and then on top of it all, you were at the end, you were able to run some things so get yourself prepared for your next opponent, which will be in the section championship, and Cooper has a chance to go to state for the very first time in school history of girls basketball.
Let's go over to Allie now with one of the Happy Hawks.
Yeah, guys, here with Drew Gaston, who had a lights-out performance. Usually averages 8, went for 16 today. How did you guys pull out such a dominant performance?
We just played defense as a team. We passed the ball around. We got a lot of steals, and that helped a lot.
You talked about your guys' defense, but you guys are used to playing against a zone defense. Talk about how you've been able to capitalize on playing so well offensively against that.
We've been practicing this for the whole season, especially this last week. We was just practicing just attacking the zones and getting those kick-out passes and where to look and all of that.
Loader scored 36 points in her last game, but you guys were able to contain her more in this one. How were you able to do that?
We had a lot of help defense, so we tried to keep her in front, but if we got past, we had to make sure that second person's going to step up and help us.
This team is possibly one of the best in program's history here at Cooper. What has the season been like for you?
It's been fun. fun, exciting. We broke 2 records, so we're just trying to keep on going, and it's really fun.
What are your expectations for Thursday as you either take on Benilde St. Margaret's or Waconia?
Do the same thing we did today, just make the extra pass, keep attacking, and all that.
If you do what you did today, it'll be hard to stop.
Thank you.
We'll go let you enjoy it with your team. Thanks so much, Ju. Send it back to you guys.
Thanks, Allie, and congratulations to the Hawks. Again, they will get set to play against either Waconia or Benilde on Thursday night. That'll be at Chanhassen High School. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one here today for Wally Langfellow, Allie Arlton, all of our crew. I'm Jay Wilcox. Cooper rolling to a win here in the Section 6 semifinals. Your final, Hawks 76 and Orono 39.